to choose just one memory from the last 20 triumphant years of Doctor Who. Oh, there were some low points, but from like the absolute terror of Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead and Blink to like just the joyous, silly fun of like the adipose or like the Mickey getting eaten by a bin. Like there's been some very odd moments. I think my happiest Doctor Who related memory is of course coming to the Glasgow Doctor Who Society, where I met my fiance David as well as many of my dearest friends, although also shout out to the fish fingers and custard sleepover I had, which I'm sure we all tried that, binge watching Doctor Who and actually trying fish fingers and custard. A memory we'll never forget, I'm sure.
Going to the Doctor Who exhibition, the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff for my 16th birthday back in 2015, jeepers, that's 10 years ago. And I remember it was so wonderful seeing all the props and the costumes for Doctor Who, not just the revival, but for the classic era. And I still remember that Dalek thing at the exhibition and seeing like Peter Capaldi on the TV screen saying, I am Foreman, 1963, that's where it started. That was the last bit of the tour. And also the gift shop at the end, where I still remember getting the 5 Doctors, Terror of the Autons, Spearhead from Space, all on DVD. The first 3 series of Torchwood on DVD, and also an 11th Doctor t-shirt, which was basically him leaving. It said 2013, 2010, Raggedy Man Goodnight, and a big Matt Smith face, and I just thought that was an absolutely wonderful Doctor Who related memory that I have and I will cherish for as long as I live with both my hearts.
A lifelong Doctor Who fan, and when the revival, as they call it, Doctor Who came out, I thought it was going to be an absolute disaster. And I watched the first episode Rose with trepidation, but after about 5 minutes I just knew it was going to be fantastic, and it has been ever since.
Well, I think it would be pertinent, seeing as it's the anniversary, well, it was the anniversary, to my earliest ever memory of Doctor Who, which was Tooth and Claw, which was Series 2, Episode 2, I believe. My first ever memory was watching that at like 3 years old and being utterly terrified of it. Even now, it's still a very intense watch for me. Not the best episode, admittedly, but that was the first time I remember watching Doctor Who as it came out, and it's my earliest memory of the show, and I just remember it hooking me and just thinking, no, this is what I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to, unhealthily probably. Yeah, no, just that whole episode, just David Tennant, Billie Piper, the CGI werewolf, which actually holds up surprisingly well. It's a great runaround, and I have a real soft spot for it. So yeah, that's a great memory I have of Revival Who.
Well, for me in general, I would say it's not really a memory for the show, but I would say if it wasn't for the show in general, I wouldn't have met half the people I've met in my life. I'm grateful for the show bringing the best out of me and meeting the people I've met, because I wouldn't have met the friends I've made or my current partner within the show. So if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't be standing here today.
Okay, one memory is when Dalek first came on. I watched it with my mum and dad, and while I was watching it, it was when the Dalek starts to go up the stairs. I remember my mum and my dad turning to each other and going, "Yeah, do you remember they didn't used to be able to go up the stairs?" And I was in absolute disbelief, because I was just like realised that like a couple of days ago that Doctor Who was like a thing previously before it came back. So like I was very confused, but I was like, wait, what? And yeah, that's one memory that's always stuck with me.
So yeah, my first memory is actually watching Rose back in 2005, but not actually from the word go, because at first we were down in Sheffield visiting my aunt and uncle, and me and my siblings went into the other room because we were like, what's this old people show that my mum is asking us to watch? But eventually I came in during about halfway through the episode, and so my very first Doctor Who memory is a human eating bin, just Mickey being swallowed by this this thing, he gets his hand stuck and then it just burps. I went, what on earth is this thing? But 20 years later, I'm still here.
My first memory of Doctor Who was the first episode I watched with my dad. It was The Empty Child. That episode scared me. I couldn't watch the next one until a week later. I was a child and very scared of The Empty Child.
I think the best memory for me of the past 20 years is the fact that a show that was little niche for me, because I'm a TV movie fan, that's where I started, almost 30 years ago, God. It's the fact that I now have a group of people that know Doctor Who and know it for the series that I love, more than just that old show with the wobbly sets. So I think the revival for me is more a fact of making it a show that I love, culturally relevant, and actually creating such great friendships, as other people have mentioned in this video, and had a great social life off the back of it. So thank you for the revival, Doctor Who.